A Poor Mechanic and the Billionaire Bridge. Rain hammered the tin roof of the dusty garage as Arun wiped grease off his hands, squinting at the thunderclouds rolling above the small Indian town he called home. The world was moving faster than ever, cars turning electric, engines becoming software, dreams slipping farther out of reach. But he still fixed them the old way. With calloused hands. With heart. Business was slow. The few who passed through his shop were farmers with broken tractors or motorbikes coughing their last breath. Arun never charged them more than they could pay, often accepting a bag of rice or fresh vegetables instead of cash. He'd known hunger too well to turn anyone away. It was just past noon when the call came. Airport needs a mechanic. Jet engine trouble, the man on the line said in English thick with urgency. You come. Arun almost laughed. A jet engine? Him. But before he could answer, the man added, We're desperate. You were recommended. You come now. He glanced at the quiet shop, the rain-soaked streets, the nearly empty tin for today's earnings. Something inside him whispered, Go. So, without a second thought, Arun strapped his rusty toolbox to the back of his scooter and rode toward the airport, the storm chasing him the whole way. When he arrived, the guards looked puzzled at his appearance, mud-splattered shirt, worn shoes, a scooter that coughed louder than it ran. But someone must have vouched for him, because they let him through. The aircraft on the tarmac was a sleek, private jet, glossy white with navy stripes, the kind of plane he'd only seen in movies. It sat tilted, its right engine clearly having suffered a failure mid-taxi. Technicians buzzed around nervously, none able to fix the damage. Arun approached, eyes scanning the engine's underbelly, fingers itching to touch, to feel. The head technician scoffed. You sure you know what you're doing? This isn't a scooter. I'll do my best, Arun said, voice calm. But I'll need quiet. And time. Skeptical, they stepped back. Arun opened his box, unwrapped his tools, each aged, but lovingly maintained. He touched the engine gently, as if listening. Then he set to work, not with the precision of textbooks but with the instinct of someone who understood machines the way a farmer knows soil. He didn't see the black-suited man watching him from the terminal window. Didn't know the jet belonged to one of the richest men in the world. The billionaire, Nathan Bridge, was used to power meetings, not mechanical delays. But something about the man on the tarmac drew his attention. He watched the way Arun moved, not rushed, not showy, but present, grounded. He had seen 1,000 engineers, flown with the best pilots, but never had he seen someone listen to an engine. Inside the plane, assistants panicked over missed meetings, rescheduling calls worth millions. Nathan said nothing. He just watched. 3 hours later, Arun stood and wiped his brow. Try it, he said quietly. They hesitated, then ignited the system. The engine roared to life, smooth, whole. A breath rippled across the crew. The jet was fixed. Who are you? One technician asked. Arun just smiled, picked up his toolbox, and turned to leave. Just a mechanic. As he reached his scooter, a young man in a suit ran after him. Wait. Mr. Bridge would like to speak with you. Arun paused. Bridge? The man nodded. Nathan Bridge. He owns this jet. He saw everything. Before Arun could protest, he was ushered into the terminal's private lounge. Plush leather chairs. Bowls of almonds. And in the center, the man himself. Nathan looked up and smiled. You fixed what none of my top engineers could. I got lucky, Arun said, shrinking under the weight of the room. No, Nathan replied. You got good. A moment of silence passed, then Nathan asked, What's your story? So Arun told him. About growing up in a one-room house. About his father teaching him to fix engines with broken tools. About choosing integrity over profit, every single time. Nathan listened, not like a billionaire, but like a human. Why haven't you left this town? Nathan asked. My mother's buried here. And people need me. Nathan nodded. Would you come to New York? Arun blinked. What? I run a foundation. We build opportunity. Not charity, opportunity. We find people with skills and give them a stage. A platform. A chance to dream bigger. I fix old engines, sir. That's all. No, Nathan said, leaning forward, you revive them. Arun hesitated. I don't have a passport. Or money. Or even clothes good enough for a plane. Nathan stood. You have everything that matters. The next morning, Arun returned to his shop to find it crowded. The story had spread. The mechanic who fixed the billionaire's jet. Journalists. Neighbors. Old customers bringing garlands, crying tears of pride. Arun didn't know what to say. So he said nothing. 2 weeks later, he boarded a plane to New York, wearing a borrowed shirt and shoes polished with coconut oil. In his pocket was a letter, an official invitation from the Nathan Bridge Foundation, offering him a place in their advanced engineering program and full sponsorship to study and collaborate with global innovators. Months passed. Arun stood in front of a lecture hall, explaining combustion principles to Ivy League engineers. Not from textbooks, but from lived experience. He helped design a new kind of eco-engine, built not for luxury, but for farmers, villages, remote areas. His designs saved lives during monsoons, powered irrigation where electricity failed. But the true moment came when Nathan invited Arun to speak at a summit. Arun stood before 1,000 CEOs and world leaders. His hands trembled, but his voice was steady. I didn't grow up with much, he began. But I had two things, curiosity and compassion. I fixed engines because I loved giving broken things another chance. What I didn't know, what Mr. Bridge showed me, is that sometimes, the broken thing is not the machine. It's the system that forgets people like me. The hall was silent. Then applause erupted, not polite, but thunderous. Later, a reporter asked Nathan why he had chosen to help Arun. Nathan smiled. Because he reminded me of something I'd forgotten, that the bridge between wealth and worth isn't made of money. It's made of humanity. Years later, Arun returned to his hometown, not as a stranger in a suit, but as the same mechanic, now with tools forged from hope. He built a technical school beside his garage. Trained hundreds. Offered scholarships. Taught that kindness was a tool as powerful as any wrench. At the entrance of the school, a plaque reads, Fix what's broken. Build what's needed. Be the bridge. Arun. And in the workshop, still hanging by the window, is his old wrench. Rusted. Loved. Eternal. Because sometimes, one act of grace, a jet engine fixed in the rain, can lift not just a plane, but an entire world.